Welcome to D&D, celebration of the Red Box. We're going to run a little game here. My name is Chris Perkins, and I am your humble DM, your humble and merciful DM. Although you may have heard that I like to brutalize my players, it's not true. Basically, you guys are second level, and so you've had some experiences together, and maybe you've lost one or two members over your short but illustrious adventuring careers. But at this point in time, there's sort of a general assumption that you kind of know each other a little bit. And you've sort of come to trust each other on a number of encounters that have pitted you against kobolds and against a white dragon and various other threats as you've been exploring a place, a dungeon complex known as the Twisting Halls. And all you really know about the Twisting Halls is that this dungeon was built long, long ago by a reclusive sect of minotaurs. And they had all kinds of weird things down here, altars dedicated to primal deities and things like that. And much of your recent adventures have taken place in the Twisting Halls, and actually you've cleared out a great deal of it. And as you are sort of plumbing the dungeon, looking for secret chambers and other places that you may have missed, you stumble upon a pair of elf druids who were like the last people you expected to find deep underground. And one of them introduces himself to you as Falarian. And at first, they seem to be hiding from you. Like they didn't know exactly what to expect when they saw these lights approaching down this passageway. What I'd like you to do is to take your characters and just sort of arrange them over here for the time being. So you guys have been, and it's not important where you guys are at this point in time. We can reconfigure you as needed as we go. And by the way, if you have any questions during the game, just feel free to ask, and I'd be happy to sort of answer them to the best of my ability. So as you guys are making your way down this passage, and you're pretty sure there are no monsters in the area, you've totally cleared this area out, a pair of elves sort of peek at you from behind a curtain. Very sort of comical, almost sort of Scooby-Doo style. With great trepidation, they realize that what they're looking at aren't monsters of any kind, and then they seem to sigh with relief. And they say, "Hello? What are you doing here?"
Well, we could ask the same of you.
We have been hiding.
Hiding?
Yes.
From what?
From the dangers here.
There are no dangers. We've made sure of that, haven't we, folks?
He says. You're adventurers?
Of sorts, yes.
Sorry, what are you doing down here?
Well, there were three of us, and we came here because, well, we have this map, see, and on the map there is this indication of a... Why are we talking to you through the curtain? Well, why don't you... They step through, and this guy says, "I'm Falarian. Well, I'm not the leader of our group. The leader of our group is, well," he turns to his friend, and they kind of look at each other. She's missing. Cathera. She was leading this little expedition down here. You see, we believe that this dungeon is actually built in a very strange place, and that there is this portal, and he sort of shows you his map. And marked on the map is basically sort of a section of the dungeon that looks remarkably like what's laid out here. But through the curtain, there is this room marked, and on the map, there is this little symbol that looks like a star. And he says, right here, Cathera believes that there is or she believed, and she was absolutely right, that there is a portal that leads to another dungeon in this exact same location, but on another plane.
Okay.
There's some sort of connection between these two places. It's almost as if it's a twin.
Right.
But it lies in a place called the Feywild. Have you heard of it?
Yes.
Really?
So
Just
she
about.
After, how did she go through the portal? Or
Well, she found the words to activate it, and she was going to do some reconnaissance. She told us to wait here.
Did she tell you the words?
Yes.
Can I just... How did you get here? Because this place was crawling with beasties until
Yes.
we bravely slew them all.
Cathera had a ritual scroll that allowed us to turn into animals. And in
You
this
scampered.
Exactly. However, the effects of that scroll have expired, and unfortunately, Cathera hasn't returned. And, well, not to put too fine a point on it, we follow her orders to the letter. But we are concerned.
Okay. So
And honestly, adventuring really isn't our cup of tea. We're sort of out of our element here. This place is dreary and enclosed and rather frightful.
what kind of things are reputed to be in this mirror dungeon?
Well, that we're not exactly sure, and that was really what brought her here. She wanted to see what lied on the other side. The place where the realm where this parallel dungeon resides is a realm of great magical wonder. Magic there is accentuated, and from what I've heard, the nature of creatures that live there are far more wild.
That would explain the elf interest then.
Let's go.
He
Come on,
says,
kids.
do you always jingle when you walk?
Maybe.
yes, yes, we do.
It's all your treasure. You've all
yeah.
got like bunches of coins that you've hoarded off of monsters and plundered from various hidden vaults and things.
Is that actually weighing us down?
Doesn't matter. It's money. We're keeping it.
No, it doesn't weigh you down in the least.
Okay.
We're not worrying about
I
that.
can always
I was
carry
just-
it if you want. You know?
I was
Yeah.
just wondering whether if we're going through to another plane that's going to have completely new map, whether we should probably leave some of the stuff here if we've got that much stuff.
It's all right. We'll look after it for you.
Okay, obviously not.
Well, let's
says,
have
well,
a
since-
look at this magic portal of yours.
Absolutely.
Then,
He'll take you into this
can I?
room
I know about these things.
where
Take me
there's this
through.
beautiful inscription on the floor and a pulsating circle of light that just seems to have formed inches above the floor. And he says, this has been activated by Cathera. We don't know exactly how long the portal will persist. I mean, it's a fixture here, but you have to say the words to activate it. But it is currently active. If you were to step
Can
in
I
it
have
now,
a little kind of shufty at it?
yeah, absolutely. You could make what's called an Arcana skill check. Your skills are listed on the top
So it's
left
plus,
hand. There it is.
So 15.
Well done. You have no doubt that it is exactly what Cathera believed it was. It is a permanent teleportation circle that can be activated by magic here, and it is currently live for at least another 2 or 3 hours.
One way or two way?
It is two-way,
Definitely two.
but a good question to ask.
And last thing, they don't
So
appear
she
to be-
went through.
She went through, and
But
they
you
tell you,
didn't follow.
Valerian tells you that they had express orders to remain here, and far be it for them to disobey. There's something. Well, you don't have to make any sort of insight check to know that these druids seem to have a very strict hierarchy.
And the word lackey comes to mind.
Perhaps, although you don't think Valerian would necessarily refer to himself thus.
No, I'm just
So is this place through the portal more dangerous or less dangerous than where we are now?
You suspect it's going to be more dangerous by virtue of the fact that you've pretty much cleared this place out. And beyond this portal lies another dungeon of unknown occupants.